What is up, PTU crew? How are you guys all doing? Welcome to Market Mondays! That was my impression of Bruce Buffer. You know who that is? I got the WWF Ultimate Warrior t-shirt on. Come on, give me a break. Okay. We're going to be talking about a bunch of different subjects today. For you Pokemon people, we will be talking about the Charizard UPC. I'm going to put that down at the little bit at the end, and we're going to wrap it up with Pokemon. We're going to start with MetaZoo. As you guys know, I just put out a small 2-minute drill opening up some MetaZoo product they found at Walmart. MetaZoo now is officially at Walmart and Target in 3-pack blisters, which is great for MetaZoo. It's going to give it more exposure. MetaZoo has cut their print output by 50% coming into their new set Seance. Will be releasing in about 4 to 5 weeks time. I think they're hoping that's going to buoy the market and help them push forward into 2023. I am currently still very optimistic about MetaZoo. They've made it this far. They have created some kind of market share. They're out in the big box stores, and I guess they have a lot coming out, cartoons, figures, stuff like that. We should be seeing that sometime here in 2023, and they're marching forward. I personally have a little bit of MetaZoo. I plan on getting a little bit more. I'm going to continue to buy MetaZoo in the future, and I like where they're going, and I think they have a good shot at living and not dying like most TCG Kickstarters. Moving on to Magic the Gathering. The whole Magic the Gathering community is completely triggered right now by the release of the 30th anniversary set, which is, I don't even know if I call it a reprint. It's a reprint. They're not tournament legal. They have the different backs, gold border back. On the fronts, they look like Magic cards, regular tournament legal Magic cards. The price tag of $1,000 for 4 packs is a lot. And I personally was considering buying some. But to be honest, to buy any amount, I would have to buy 2, 1 to open, 1 to keep. And spending $2,400, $2,200 and change with tax. I'm just not going to do that. It's too much, and I'm priced out, like many other people. I personally would rather buy as much Evolving the Sky as I could buy right now, even at its current price, which we will discuss in a few minutes. I'm priced out, and I think that's what bothers a lot of people. I think if it came out and was a little more affordable, people wouldn't be so mad. But they're triggered because they can't afford it, and they're priced out. They're pissed. And I kind of don't blame them. However, long term, we don't know what Wizards is going to do moving forward. A lot of people are saying this is an open salvo to continued token reprints, proxy reprints, however you want to call it, of other Urza's block I've heard thrown around a lot. Maybe even Arabian Nights, which would be crazy, and I might have to reevaluate when that one came around. But if it stays at this $1,000 price tag or higher, I'm priced out, and I think most of you are too. Which brings me to my overall point moving forward. A lot of things are kind of going on in the reserve list market right now. A lot of people are panic selling. I think dual lands might be hurt in the short term, but in the long term, for all the reserve lists, I don't think it's going to matter. Nothing's going to replace the original OG cards from 30 years ago. Near mint copies are rare, especially of good cards. People have them in their collections and they're not letting them go. I don't think it's going to affect the long term, especially since most of the people are priced out. Most of the people that play Magic, a good portion of them don't even understand what the reserve list is or why it exists, because they started playing 2-3 years ago. They're not, they're 20 somethings. They're not 40 years old like me, where I was there when in the beginning, you know, so I have some kind of understanding, even though I quit when I was very young. I do have some understanding to what's going on there, and most people, it's market noise to them. They can't afford it, they're not going to care about it, and they're going to move on, and that's most of the people, and I think the market's going to move on too. A lot of people are panic selling, and as we discussed in my last video, an investor's mentality, if you have the right mentality, you're going to do what I'm going to do. I've been personally kind of scattershotting some of my buying. I'm going to be making a list. I'm going to be really concentrated on what I'm working forward from here on forward, on what I'm buying and what I'm going to be collecting and what I'm going to be opening. If anything, this thing has got me more laser focused. I've realized I need to focus on, because I was going to spend the $2,200 and get 2 of these things. I think it's going to be a great investment. If you buy and hold this thing, I think it's going to be worth mega bucks in the future. I see it doubling or more. Even after the hype dips down and it takes a dip, which I'm going to get into when it comes to the Charizard UPC. In the end, everything's going to be fine. The sun's going to come up tomorrow. The reserve list is going to be fine. Magic products in general will be fine. All the products that are down right now, the past 8 to 12 months, they're all going to rebound. They're all going to be worth something in the future. And if you don't think so, you're wrong. You're wrong. Magic's is going to go up. Magic's going to come back. It's been around for 30 years, and there's a reason for that. It has millions of players, millions of people who love the game, and a lot of people that are going to continue to enter the hobby and continue to pick up the game, and those sets are going to be worth money in the future. That's it. Pokemon Charizard UPC. Should you pre-order the Charizard UPC? I wouldn't. I've been told that there's going to be 2 waves. One now, here when the first one comes out, and then one in early to mid-December. Before, when Pokemon was super hyped, you really couldn't count on that. But now that they bought Millennium Print Group and they own the print group, what that does for them is they're able to print their stuff on their time schedule, and they're going to be able to come out with their releases. That's why you saw leaks of Lost Origin early. That's why you're going to see leaks of Silver Tempest early, because they already made it. It's printed. It's ready to go. It's ready to be shipped right now. That's just my opinion. I don't have any facts to go with that, but I'm just going off of what I've seen in the past and what's going on right now. It seems like their printing's right on schedule and they're ready to shoot. The Pokemon market is extremely strong. I personally, I just told my fiance this, we're going to be hunting for this thing. We're going to try to catch it at retail. If I were you, I would talk to your local Target or Walmart. I've found that Target's a little more reliable with their stocking, like their timing. You have to kind of figure out when. Just watch your stores. My store usually stocks on a Monday, Tuesday. So I'm going to be out on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of that week, looking probably the week before. Things might come out early. Watch for that. Get together with your local GameStop. Figure out how many they're going to get. Get in line. Get in line early. It's going to be worth it. If not, you're going to have to, and you really want it, you're going to have to pay that inflated price of $180, $200, $220, $240. That being said, it's going to dip at some point. I guarantee you. If I'm wrong, there's going to be the second wave in December. But it's going to dip. It's probably going to dip sometime after Christmas in 2023. Watch for it. I would say by sometime summer of next year, it's going to dip down. Whatever they're charging around, the 220, 230, 240, watch it. If you really want it and you want to get it at a good price and you weren't able to catch at retail, I'm telling you, go hunt for it. You probably will find it. Put some effort, get to the stores early, hunt for it that week, hunt for it that next week of release. Just keep your eye out and then just have your cash ready. Don't be like, oh, I don't have that 120 right now. If you want it, put it aside, save now. Have your money ready to where if you find one, you're able to just grab it at a Target or whatever and get it. You can hunt for it. I'm telling you, you can get it. Put in that effort and get it. If not, wait for it. If you like to buy on eBay or Amazon, I do more eBay than Amazon. Or you have certain stores. For instance, I like Smoke and Mirrors Gaming. They usually have good prices. There's also one in, I believe it's Washington, called Zulu Games. They tend to have really good prices. They've already stopped their pre-orders. They were doing this bundle thing where they were charging retail for the Charizard UPC, but they were bundling other products with it, charging the 2 something whatever. So they were kind of forcing you to buy some extra ancillary products that were actually really good products at a good price. In addition to it, you're definitely getting value. That $2.20 or $2 whatever something they were charging, which you don't have to pay tax, so that's flat. There's no tax and shipping was included. So whatever it was, $2.20 or $2.30 they were charging, it's $2.30 out the door, and you were getting certain products. The total value was well over 3 something. It was a banger deal. I missed out on it. I didn't have the cash right then when I saw it, and then the next day it was sold out. Which brings me, so wrapping that up, I would hunt for it first, wait for the dip. Hunt first, wait for the dip. That's my advice on the Charizard UPC. I would not pre-order it. If you've already pre-ordered, bless you. You have it. It's going to come. Hopefully you didn't pre-order it through GameStop, because I've heard that they are canceling orders of 3 or more. If you ordered 2, you might be fine. If you ordered 1, you should be good. But they've canceled a lot of orders, so watch out for that. Check your emails if you've done that. The rest of the Pokemon market is doing strong. The boxes from Sword and Sun and Moon are extremely strong. It seems like the water level for Sword and Shield is raising. All of them are going up or are strong, steady. Nothing's going down in this bare collectibles market where everybody else is kind of just treading water and fighting to stay above water. Evolving Skies. Last video we made, it was at $200. It is now at $235 on TCG Player. $235 on TCG Player. $235 on TCG Player. In 2 weeks, it's gone up another 15%. Remember when I told you now is the time? Yeah, now is the time. Unless Pokemon does some ridiculously massive reprint, which they've already done 3 waves and a 4th wave, nothing's stopping Evolving Skies. It's going to keep going. The strongest set in Sword and Shield by far. Now is the time. If you wanted to get a box to crack, or if you wanted to get a box to hold for your sealed collection, I'm not sure if they're going to do another reprint, and I'm going to tell you why. It's not going to do anything to the market. They did a sizable reprint, and it got eaten up in 3 weeks, and it went down to that 150, like I said, because it was about that 175, let's say, for easy sake. I mean, it was hovering plus or minus $5 or $10 either way from there. It went down to 150 for a couple weeks. It went past that 175 and up. Someone told me that it's FOMO and people are worried about missing out. People realize that it is the most valuable set in Sword and Shield, a whole block, and they are not stupid, and they're not going to pass up on it. So the demand is high, and the supply is still good, but what people realize is they're going to make their profits now. They're not going to, they want to sell it now, so they're selling it at that $235 price, because they know it's going to be $200, $300, $400 in the future very soon. They want to sell it now to get cash, get the product off their books and cash in their hand, but they want to get as much money for it as they possibly can. We could see a slight dip, 5 to 10% at some point. I wouldn't count on it. I wouldn't. Now's the time. I mean, like I said in the previous video, you could try to wait for another reprint. If they do come out with another reprint, excuse me, people are not going to charge $150 for it. It might go down to $200. They know the value of it. They know the demand for it, and it's not coming down. Now is the time. Remember what Pika Papa always says, you got to catch them all. Bye.